Hmm? The search comes to an end. Your search is in search of an enlightenment.
When did you first realize?
So it just dawned on me, that's all.
Just was there from the
That's
beginning when you were born?
No, somewhere along the line.
Somewhere along the line. Just very few
Yep, yes.
people have it.
Do you
It has
are you
no-
working to it, or it just happens, or
No, you see, you struggle for some time, practice everything that is there in the book and everything that you are asked to do, and then suddenly realize that it is not of any value at all. All that you have been taught, all that you are told, all that you practice is meaningless.
what do you practice? What kind?
Whatever you see is there, you are asked to do, your yoga, meditations, everything, disciplines, denials, in the hope of getting something. All that is a total waste. So if you are lucky enough, it has to dawn on you at the very beginning and not at the end.
That's what happened with you. But then...
So it has no value at all in the sense in which you think it is.
I haven't the
Slightest idea. And then why are you asking me all the questions about enlightenment? You know something. Somebody may have told you that there is an enlightened man here.
Yeah.
So what did it mean to you, the word?
I don't know.
You didn't know.
No. I just wanted to see the man.
Really?
Here you have seen him and your curiosity is satisfied. Do I look like an enlightened man?
No,
No,
you
not at
don't.
all. So why do you say that I don't look like an enlightened man? How does he look like?
We've
No.
seen some from pictures, and
Movies?
we were just thinking, well, some was sitting in a
Cross-legged
Yeah.
posture and with a
his hands
beard and
above his
flowing
head.
hair and then colored robes
Yeah.
of
More
different...
like a guru or so.
Yes.
We also heard you don't like to be called a guru. You're not a guru.
No. Because I have nothing to teach people.
You have nothing to teach people. But you come to speak to people.
No,
You come
no, I'm just here, that's all.
just
Here with your friends and
just visiting.
that's all.
Only visiting
And some people like you who are curious, who have heard that there is an enlightened man or that I am an enlightened man, come to see me and then ask questions like this. If they are satisfied, they are satisfied. If they are not satisfied, they are not satisfied.
You think most of the people are not satisfied?
It all depends
What's
upon
that?
what they expect here.
No. It's very, very difficult. You don't know what to expect. I never read about it.
Very good, that's good. But you have heard this word enlightenment. And then you associated that word with the pictures you have seen and the stories you have heard about the
don't
gurus.
know.
Not at all.
I don't know.
Then why did you say
anything
that I
about
don't
it.
look like an enlightened man?
I don't know. I am. It was my imagination.
Sure, you have an imagine. No,
My imagination.
no, but the imagination springs from something that you...
I then.
You
then
know.
Yes. Then you
Sure.
write from
Sure.
pictures. Yes, with
Yes,
clothes and.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously you will be disappointed, or your curiosity is satisfied or not satisfied. It depends upon how you react to the individual and what he is saying. Huh? So you know something, you have a vague idea or some sort of an image. Or you may have read, you see, the writings of some of those.
I was trying to read a book before I met you, but I haven't
What book?
been able to finish it. I don't know.
Some book.
From India.
From India, on the subject of enlightenment.
Geheim India.
I was very decided to be critical.
Yeah, but your criticism is based on what? Critical. You can't have a critical approach about something which you really don't know. Can you? Can you be critical of something which you don't know?
Oh, I think you can be afraid of something which you don't know.
Afraid, yes, but I don't know what exactly you mean by critical.
Well,
You don't believe in that kind of stuff.
yes, in a certain way, I certainly
Certainly,
do.
yes, then
Yeah.
only you can be critical. No?
I think
Because-
you must be.
Yes. You must have some idea for and against.
Yeah.
Sure.
Some idea, but I don't know how to put it into words. It's just a
That is what we are
feeling.
trying here, you see.
Mhm.
Hmm?
That's
That's what we are trying here.
yeah.
And I am also asking you the questions so that you can have an idea of what you exactly mean by these things, you know. When you say you are very critical about these things, how can anybody be critical about something
Which
you don't know? See, so you already have an image or formed some idea
Mhm.
which either fits into the ideas you have about it or they don't fit.
Oh, well, I must be honest. I'm very much afraid of sectors.
Sects. Hmm?
I'm afraid of that. It frightens me.
Do you belong to any sect?
No.
No. You have some background. You can be without any background.
That's right. To have a family, that's one. Yes.
Know your beliefs. That's what I mean by that.
Mm-hmm.
You have some beliefs. You can't be without a belief.
That's right.
Even if you don't believe in anything, that's a belief. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So it really doesn't mean anything to say that I don't believe in anything.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So that statement is still related to some belief.
Yeah.
So you must have some beliefs, you must have some faith.
Uh-huh.
Hmm? So you have a certain framework, you see.
Mm-hmm.
And any statement anybody makes, you try to fit that into that framework. If it doesn't fit into that framework, you reject. Hmm? If you fit into that framework, you accept.
Mm-hmm.
So if it doesn't fit into your framework, and if you don't want to reject for some reason, or reject because it doesn't fit into, what would you do with that, you see?
Mm-hmm.
What exactly do you mean by saying that you want to be critical?
Well, there's a saying, but it's also sort of being afraid. Of course.
You don't want
I
to be
was nervous when
you
I
don't
came
want
in.
to be disturbed, in other words. In other words, you don't want to be disturbed. You see, you don't want your convictions and beliefs to be disturbed by anybody, anything that anybody says, who you think is creating some cult in contradistinction to the beliefs and ideas you have about them. Hmm? And yet you are curious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how do you go about to solve this situation? We find ourselves here, you there and I here.
Mm-hmm.
You have come with certain ideas, images. Yours is not a blank mind, you see. You have not come here with an open mind, because there is no such thing as an open mind at all.
That's right.
So how do we go about it, you see, in resolving that situation for us both?
Can you call it a feeling, curiosity? Can you call it, I don't know, I felt to come. No, I thought, felt it like a very unique opportunity. Yeah. Because maybe of my criticism, no sect. No.
Do you believe in anything, if I may ask you the question? I'm not interrogating you, but I'm not interested in talking at all, you see. You are here, we have to do something. We just can't look at one another. Somehow you find yourself here. So I'm asking you the question, do you believe in anything?
But don't ask me.
What?
Do you believe in God?
No.
No.
There is a God, but
Why? Why do you
not the God they
blur.
Not the God bearded person sitting on a throne in heaven.
Yeah.
You don't believe in that God.
No.
But still you believe in God.
Yeah.
But huh?
God, cosmetic, something.
Why?
I don't know.
Why? Why do you believe in
Feel.
it? Huh? Fear.
Feel.
You feel.
I think so.
Feeling doesn't mean anything.
Feeling doesn't mean anything.
No, not at all, you see. It's another way of saying that, you see, I believe in God. So
then we're back to the point where we started, what you said.
yes, now.
There is no practice at all. Well, you must practice.
So you cannot believe in something which you do not know.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all, you see. How can you believe in something which you You believe in something which you do not know, which you take it for granted that there is. Or you say, I feel somehow that there is a God. But what does it mean? What is that God?
It's something you've been given when you were born.
Yes.
From your parents and from their parents and...
And it goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
And you just swallow it. And you are not critical as you say you are. If you swallow that, you see that is passed on from generation to generation.
I wasn't that very believable, no. Certainly not. But I wasn't brought up...
You must believe in something.
Yes.
You believe in yourself.
No? Oh, I don't think so. Sometimes I think you can, but sometimes no. It changes all the time.
No, I suggested God, you see, as an example, you see.
Yeah.
What do you believe in? You must believe in something.
Love.
Huh?
Love. Yeah. That's what I believe in.
Why do you have to believe? There is a love, you don't have
It
to
is
believe.
there.
It's a reality.
Yeah.
So why do you say, I believe in love?
I
It
don't know
is
how
there
to-
or it isn't there?
I don't know how to say it in another
It is
way.
there or it isn't there?
Yeah, it is there.
Love is there or isn't there? So
It
you
is
don't
there.
have to say, I believe in love.
Yes.
See,
But
you
you
know.
asked me, what do you
Yeah,
believe
I'm
in?
trying
So-
to
You try-
understand
you
what
try-
exactly you mean, you see. I'm not interrogating you or questioning you just for the sake of questioning. So I'm asking you see, a question and you say, I believe in love. Huh? But why do you have to believe in love? It is there or it isn't there?
Huh?
Hmm.
That's right.
So the question of belief doesn't at all arise.
No.
You love or you don't love.
Hmm?
Hmm?
But how should I?
Then why do you say, I believe in love? Believe in what? Love in relationship, you see. So why do you have to believe in that? You are not sure of that, you see, that there is love. As a goal, as an ideal, you believe in love. Or you think that there is a perfect love
No?
you know, then
Can you put it in other words then?
you,
I don't
you,
know.
you put it in any words you want.
Then you realize there's love.
Is there love?
Realizing. No.
I don't know, we don't seem to be
No.
getting anywhere.
Uh-huh.
Not that we should get anywhere.
Uh-huh.
But, I'm also trying to understand you, see, what exactly you mean by saying I believe in love.
Uh-huh.
We forget about God, that's too abstract, it's too silly a subject, you see. I don't want. This is something living in your life, love, you see.
Yeah.
You always talk of love. I love my husband, I love my children,
Yeah.
I love my country,
Yeah.
you see, I love this, that and the other. You see, it's always related to something.
Mhm.
It doesn't exist in a vacuum.
Mhm.
There is you and the object you love. So whatever it is, whether it is a person or a country or an idea, you use the word I love, you see.
Mhm.
So, then why do you say I believe in love? Either you love or you don't love. You see, why you love, you know. Why you don't love, you know at the same time, you see. So, why do you use this word belief? I believe in love. See, an ideal love or a perfect love or what, you see?
Don't
Uh,
think
huh?
there exists something
No.
like that.
So that's why I'm asking the question, what exactly do you mean by I believe in love? I love or I don't love? That's simple. For me, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have to believe in love.
Mm.
So if you say I believe in perfect love, you see, then
Okay, now I understand your message. You love or you don't love.
you don't love, you see.
believe
You
in
have
it.
every reason to
Yeah, is it?
love or not love.
Mhm.
You see. So now you see, we are harping upon the subject of belief.
It's a very hard subject, I think.
May I ask you
Yes.
something? Would you please help me with my English? My English is not so good. I know in myself that I'm here on earth to working on my soul. And I think that meditation or yoga is not enough. You must work the whole day on yourself, on your soul, and to look in the silence into you. But I have one question. It's very difficult to work on yourself here in the Western world.
Anywhere it is difficult.
It's very busy here.
Very, very difficult. Anywhere, you see.
Anywhere.
Yes. To look at yourself is very difficult. You can play games with yourself, you see, and imagine, fantasize that you are looking at yourself, but that's a very difficult thing to do. Because there is nothing to look there. That's why I'm saying it's an exercise in futility. So there is an assumption on your part that there is a soul. So you have accepted it as a faith. Soul. And so as far as you are concerned, it is just an idea that there is a soul.
No.
Or a belief as, or a faith, you see. It is just a faith.
Not for me.
Then?
No. It's not a belief. It's not.
It's a reality, you say.
Yes.
It's a fact.
For me it's a fact.
Why? If it is a fact, it must be a fact for everybody in this world. The sun is rising, you see, the sun is, sun is bright, you see, so that's a candle,
Yes.
it is cold, it is hot. Even that is questionable in the final analysis, Even that, it's purely subjective, you see. But we know what we mean by that when we say it's cold, it's hot, it's lovely, it's beautiful, it's ugly. All that we know. And so if you say it is a fact, it must be a fact for everybody in this world, for the believers as well as non-believers.
I think it is a fact for everybody in the world.
Not, can't be for
But
everybody.
not
For you.
everyone is wake up.
Huh?
Not everyone is wake up. But I think it is a fact. But you must wake up and you must
Wake up
see
to
it.
what? Wake up, you see.
Wake up, yes.
You
To
see-
have an open mind and in silence,
No, you
and
see,
then you can see.
if you say that there is a soul, you have closed your mind. It is not open anymore.
Tell me.
It is not open anymore. Because there is no such thing as an open mind at all. It is the mind that creates the soul. So you have already blocked it, you see. So that prevents you to wake up and see if it exists or it doesn't exist. I'm not saying it does or it doesn't, So if that problem is resolved, all the other problems automatically are resolved. If it is not soul, it is God. If it is not God, if it is mind. If it is not mind, there is a psyche. There is, the whole lot. The heaven, the hell, the whole lot.
Yes.
They are all
I-
interrelated. You can't separate any one of them. They are all the variations of the same, exactly the same.
Yes.
Yes.
It's difficult.
So how do you go about, you see? So if you wake up, you see,
Yes.
so the belief puts you to sleep.
Yes.
Already it has put you to sleep, you see. You are not looking at it,
I don't hear the last.
You are not awake, you see. If you
Yeah.
say that there is a soul,
Yes.
you see, you are not awake.
Yes.
You
I
are
blocked.
already.
I blocked it with one of an idea.
And it's just an
Yeah.
idea, you see. So you have to be awake, you see, to find out, you see, and see if there is any such thing as soul at all. Soul or mind, psyche, I, self, ego. You use hundreds of words like that, you see. And so you are already asleep. You don't want to be awake, you see, You are frightened. Because you see, an awakened man will probably find out that there is no soul. That will shatter the whole thing. So you would rather put yourself to sleep and stay asleep. And yet you say your mind is open. So the resolution of that which you take for granted, which you think is a fact, will solve all the other problems for you. You don't have to deal with 101 varieties of things and 101 varieties of beliefs.
How we can
So
wake up?
that's exactly what I'm asking. Yes. So it's just a belief. You see, that there is a soul, and you say, "I feel it." Which really doesn't mean anything. You see, feeling is an emotional involvement with your belief. Intellectually, some people believe on an intellectual level, but you have involved yourself emotionally with what you call soul. If you deal with it on an intellectual level, it's all a theological approach to that. But you have added on to that, you see, an emotional involvement with what you call soul. So you have made it more difficult, for you to find out the reality or the fact of the soul, you see, the existence of this soul. So how do you go about it? You suggested that I really don't know how you can be awake. You see, what exactly do you mean by awake? So are you, let's forget about the soul, there is a candlelight there.
Yes.
That is an object outside there.
Yes.
So you have created a thing called soul inside of you.
Yes.
These are two different objects.
Yes.
But actually there is no line of demarcation to put the object out there and call it candle. And then you see a thing called soul inside. These are actually the same, you see, So we forget about the soul for a while. And there is a candle there, burning candle there. And what exactly do you mean by looking at that object and waken yourself up to that object, or stay awake in relationship with that thing called candle? This is not metaphysics, but I'm asking you to do that. You see, I'm not a teacher or any such thing, but see, we get the answer for your question when you deal with the object out there. You see, it's a lot easier to deal with them than with these abstractions and your beliefs and your faiths. They are not no different from that, you see. We have been told that is a candle, you see. In exactly the same way, you don't have to believe that is a candle. So for all practical purposes, we call it a candle to function in this world, to communicate with one another. So if all of us decide, you see, to call that by some other name, we will relearn and then start communication with the help of that new word. All right, but we have all taken for granted that is a candle. And when somebody asks you, what is that? You would say it's candle, you see. It is lighted, you see, it's green, you see, it's there in a candle stand, I don't know, whatever candle holder or whatever you want to call it. So, what exactly? No. You tell me, your awakeness you are talking about, not in relationship with the soul, but in relationship with the object that is out there on the table. You have the answer there for yourself. I don't have to give you the answer. What you have there inside of you is the idea, the knowledge. The word candle and what all it stands for.
No, you're right.
That's all. That is all that is there inside of you. So you are not looking at that at all. You are looking through the spectacle of the knowledge you have about that object there. So in exactly the same way, you are looking at your own soul through this knowledge you have about the soul. That's not your knowledge, it's put in there. So if you want to...
You're right, but it's for me a translation, eh?
It is, yes.
Because how I must tell, but you're right, it's put in...
So you are emotionally involved with this, you see. It's much more than just a candle out there, you see. So it is easy to deal with that. But essentially, the movement that is there inside of you, in relationship with that candle as well as in relationship with the soul, is exactly the same.
Yes.
So you have to deal with that rather than with the soul or with the candle. You may not like my putting both of them on the same level, but unfortunately we have to deal with them in exactly the same way. So to be able to do that, you have to strip all the emotional involvement with that what you call soul. So what stands in the way is your belief, and that belief is invested with your emotions. Huh? And so you have to free yourself from those two things. Otherwise you can't find the answer for yourself and by yourself. So my saying that you have to free yourself from that has really no meaning, because if you see or if you glimpse what it is I am trying to put across, then you will ask me how can I do it. Otherwise you will reject it. This chap is talking some nonsense. I am not interested in that. So I know that soul is a fact to me, and so one day I am going to be fully awake. One day. To look at it.
Yes, we have a lot of ideas. Always.
All ideas. So the whole business is
Idea.
about the soul is just one idea.
Well,
So you can say that I am giving another idea, a series of ideas. So it's just an idea. And even emotional superimposition of your emotions has added additional burden to you. So really you don't want to be awake. No. You'd rather stay asleep. Because it's very dangerous, you see, to be awake, to be alert.
yes, I know. But I think
The awakeness is a very dangerous thing for you, because you see, it will probably destroy your faith, your belief, and what you have taken for granted. Probably.
so the chance is very little for a Western human
No,
being.
Eastern or Western, it is just the same. You see, it doesn't really make much difference. Basically, there isn't any difference between the Easterns and Westerns, or whatever you want to call them. It's better you put aside all the Eastern approaches, and it will be a lot more easier for you to deal with it than accepting anything that comes from the East. It will confuse you further. They have a lot of ideas about it, you see. What you have is enough. More than enough.
Yes, you can say it.
Sure,
You
yes.
can say it.
Yes.
But I want, and that's difficult. I want to work on it.
First you have to work on what you have.
Yes.
Yes.
But then you must know what you have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you see.
Yes.
You will get the answers
I
for
reply you.
yourself when you deal with this and not, you see, allow anything extraneous to come into it. It's unfortunately, it is pushing its way into your search for it. So that must be stopped first.
Yes.
Whatever you are looking for is there in your culture, in your background. If that is what you are really interested in, you see. What is it that Hinduism or other religions can tell you about what Christianity cannot give you? You have certain prejudices, you are dissatisfied with the way, you see, the church has gone on. So that does not mean that there is something extraordinary that you have in other countries. It's exactly the same. People here believe in Christ, or they don't believe in Christ. You see, they believe in Rama, Krishna,
Oh,
or
yes.
thousands of them, you see, and you bring somebody from there and take away Jesus' cross and put in its place some Swami or some demigod or some fully claimed God, and then you recite a Hindu stuff, instead of your hymns. So basically it is exactly the same. It's interesting, you see nowadays you wear clothes from India, from Indonesia, from China, from everywhere. New fashion, so it has become fashionable for people, to pick up this stuff. There is an endless supply of this stuff from outside.
Yes, it is the same.
It's the same. It's basically the same. So if you deal with this and resolve the problem for yourself, you don't have to bother about what other cultures have to offer.
No, I didn't mean that with my...
So you talk of meditation, you talk of yoga, but you see, your contemplation is there, you see. It's another word they use, They go on rationalizing the whole thing. You see, what's the difference between contemplation and meditation? And
well, I think maybe there are for the Western world there must be other methods than for the Eastern world. It is possible.
no, you see,
It's always the same.
no,
I agree with you.
it's always the same, but the instrument which you are using
Yes.
is more important than anything else. You see, it's the same. Whether you sit in contemplation here or sit cross-legged there, you see, and meditate, the instrument which you are using is exactly the same. That's all that I'm pointing out, So your belief in Christ here or belief in some other God, dead or alive in India, is more important than the object of your belief. I don't know if I make myself clear. So you have to resolve this, why you believe in this. First of all, you see, before you think of other gods that they are importing from the other countries, the other stuff. It's very interesting, it's something new, So any time you see, you hear something new, you see the new songs, new music. For years and years nobody ever bothered to listen to the Indian music. Now you have concerts coming there, so in exactly the same way all this stuff is coming in here.
No, you're right, but
So your problem is belief and not the goal.
no, I don't want to believe in other stuff of other countries or other
Yes.
music.
Yes.
I agree with it. So simple isn't it?
Yes. We don't
then-
want to complicate it, you see. We want to leave it and put it and stick to the simple approach to the problem. So there is no point in replacing one belief with another belief.
No.
It's as ridiculous as your belief, So the basic question is belief, You believe in soul or you don't believe in soul, whether it is the Indian soul or Chinese soul or the Christian soul, it doesn't matter, you see. What is there is belief. If you want to be fully awake and discover for yourself, then you have to be free, you see, from the belief. So it's coloring your glasses, It makes it difficult for you to look at it, you see. So the belief and the soul, they are so interrelated. One cannot exist independent of the other.
No, I know.
Hmm?
I know.
Yes.
May I put it in another way?
Yes, yes.
Yes. A few years ago, I was only here for working, to make money.
That's understood, yes. Without money you can't exist. Finish, you see.
Listen to me.
Yes, that we don't have to discuss.
to buy a house, to buy a new car. So
Yes. Now you have them all.
No?
Now you have them all, or
I have. I have.
so then you now the question arises: is that all that is there? There must be something more.
No. I try to explain. I try to explain what I mean with my question to you. So, when I was working the whole day for money, I was thinking that I was a man. Then, one way, you go, you meet someone, and you learn meditation. And I mean that when I say with wake up.
Yes.
I was sleeping, I was working, I was making money, and I don't recognize the life. I don't know. I don't see the birds in the morning. So then I learned meditation, and I think I was alive. I was wake up about a bad dream, a money maker's dream. And then I learned meditation. When I meditate, sometimes I feel, it's very difficult to say, but there is a silence. It is not my silence, but there is a silence. There is a stopping of thought, and there is quiet. It's not my quiet.
How long?
That is.
How long?
And, not so long.
Yeah,
a few
that's what I'm
seconds.
saying.
A
Yeah.
few seconds.
Yeah,
But
few seconds.
I call that soul, but that
No,
is
don't-
wrong.
don't call it
That-
soul, silence.
That's wrong. Silence.
Silence. Yes, let us leave it at that.
This silence. And I'm thinking about that silence.
What do you want to do with that silence? It was
Nothing.
there. So you have created that silence
No.
through this of course.
No.
You have
it is.
Listen, you see, no. You see, you have used a technique called meditation, and it is that has created the silence for you. Right? Hmm? So, what do you do with that silence? This is something which is new to you.
Yes.
You see, because your meditation has given you this silence.
Yes.
Some experience which you have not had before.
Yes.
Hmm? So then what? What happens?
Nothing.
You want more.
No.
And then
No. I
It's-
don't want more. Because it isn't from me.
it's finished.
It isn't.
No, it's finished.
Yes.
So you see, then what did you do with your technique of meditation? You dropped it?
No, I
Then,
don't drop it.
then why do you still continue? So you know that it is that particular technique of meditation is responsible for the silence you experience, however short.
Yes, you're right.
Hmm?
Yes.
So you see, you have to use that
Yes.
again and again and again and again and again.
Yes.
So your interest is to expand it further and further and further.
Yes.
Hmm? And to be in that silence all the time. Sure,
Yes.
that's your idea.
But it is not enough.
Then what will you do with that silence? You can't just be in the silence all the time.
No.
No.
But that silence gives some energy.
Yes.
So I can work the whole day and give it away.
Yes.
Yes. To work on the health on the people, on the work.
Leave the other people and the world alone, you see. That's not any
The
importance
work,
that are
the
you.
work.
Work.
In the work with,
Yes.
with the people.
Yes,
I
sir.
can give away.
Certainly, you take a glass of beer and you will get additional energy, don't you? I'm not suggesting that you should take a glass of beer. Certainly, you see, it's a depressant and you get tremendous strength and power and energy. Why? Because, you see, it is disturbing the chemistry of your body. I'm not saying anything for or against. Please, you understand what I'm trying to put across. I'm not against your meditation. So you have become a dependent on that and it has become a drug for you. You see, you have to take more and more and more and more of it.
No, it doesn't matter when it isn't. When
It does matter to you. The fact that you have to go back again. So what actually you are doing, you see, in your meditation, you are losing a lot of energy because you are thinking. You see, it's a self-centered activity. You are trying to pull, you see, your resources to a pointed situation, you see. So the energy you feel is frictional energy. You have created friction, you see, in your thoughts, and that frictional energy is responsible for this sudden feeling of energy you have. And so you have more of it.
No, it doesn't matter when it isn't. When
It does matter to you.
Many
The
times,
fact that
well,
fact that you have to go back again and again and again to the technique of creating silence for you remains there. It's a fact. So you have become a dependent on the technique. So it is not going to work for long, you see. It's wearing itself out. After a while you will not be able, you see, to maintain that silence. So your demand for permanence is the one that is responsible for this addictiveness to systems of meditation. So what actually you are doing, you see, in your meditation, you are losing a lot of energy because you are thinking. You see, it's a self-centered activity. You are trying to pull, you see, your resources to a pointed situation, you see. So the energy you feel is frictional energy. You have created friction, see, in your thoughts, and that frictional energy is responsible for this sudden feeling of energy you have. And so you have to go back to that. I'm not saying whether you should or you should not. I'm just pointing out what is involved in this. So, you see, you are putting yourself to sleep. In order to stay awake, you have to meditate. To stay awake. Actually, you are not awake. You see, a man who is awake doesn't need the meditation at all. He doesn't have to take any drugs. He doesn't have to do a thing. So you cannot stand the awakeness, the alertness, the alacrity that is there in the functioning of this body. So that is why, you see, you try to practice all these things to put yourself to sleep.
Maybe I try to do it.
So your object is to stay awake. No?
Maybe.
Sure.
Maybe I try to do it.
Yes.
Because
now what's the problem then?
Because
what's the question?
Because I try to stop all the thoughts.
Yes.
They're coming in.
They are coming. You see, when you sit for meditation,
I want to stop that.
No, listen. When you sit for meditation, that is the time when you find that all these thoughts are welling up inside of you. The thoughts are always there.
Yes, always.
Always there. So when you sit in a corner and when you try, you see, to do whatever you want, meditation, or to stop your thoughts, that's the time when you become conscious of this building up of thoughts inside of you. This is something which you know.
Yes.
So you have yourself created that situation for yourself. You know?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
And
Yes.
then you see, you want, you see, to stop them.
Yes.
Your meditation has set in motion this sudden flow of thoughts. See, so whether they were there or not, you see, you really don't know.
What we can do, what can I do in another way?
But what do you
Because I have
want?
told you,
What do you want? You want something.
Yes, I
That
want
is why
something.
you are dissatisfied with, you see, this the business of making money. Is that all that is there, you are asking? Or you don't have the energy?
I was very, very bad in sleep, and I didn't know that I live because I was always thinking, working.
Yes. Now you are.
So when I have do nothing, I'm now at this moment
You are thinking of
the
something.
same businessman
No, you are thinking.
because I go to meditate.
No, you are still doing the same thinking here. Instead of thinking about making money, you are now thinking of controlling your thoughts. Sure.
Yes. You can say sure. I can't.
Hari, what are you
That's-
doing
that's-
then? What are you doing in your meditation? You please tell me. You are thinking as to how to control your thoughts.
No.
Then
No.
what do you do?
no,
I want
no.
you tell me what you do in your meditation. You
When I
sit
go-
there,
what?
cross-legged there.
Yes, when I go in meditation,
All right. You see, sit erect. You see, and
Then-
you know. Then what do you do? No,
well, you can see, like you see a movie, you can see all the thoughts. You can see them
all right.
like a movie.
All right.
So I
Because for
make
the first time, you are trying to focus on your thoughts. First time. See, and you call that meditation. You sit there, and now you are trying to look at it. You see,
Yes.
the candlelight is all the time there.
Yes.
So I am asking you to look at it, you see, because you see, the answer for your problem is there. You are not even looking at it anyway, that's not the problem. So first time you look at it, you see, in exactly the same way. For some reason, you have put yourself on this meditation trip, and so you sit there and then you watch. That's what you are saying. And what do you do then with them?
To leave the thoughts, to leave it, let it go in and go out.
Yes, yes.
Don't took it.
Yes,
That's-
they are going
that's
their own.
practical.
They are
That's
going their
practical.
own. They are going their own way.
Yes.
The one who is looking at the thoughts is the one that is creating the problem.
Yes.
That's all that I am saying.
Yes.
So the one that is looking at the thoughts is not different from the flow of thoughts. There are no two things there. There is only one thing there. The one who is looking at the thoughts and the thoughts that are flowing, you see, from, I don't know what this is,
Yes,
are these two?
Yes.
Are they?
Yes. But the observer who can see, that's an important thing.
Very,
I can see it.
very
There
important.
is an observer.
No, what I am suggesting is
An observer.
the observer who is deluding himself. That, you see, he is different from what he is observing.
Yes.
You see, the thoughts.
There's a difference. The candle
Yes.
and the observer cannot be the same.
And what is it that separates the two? We started with this. We started with this candle.
Yes.
You
Is it?
see? Hmm?
Yes.
So you forget about the thought and the observing of thought. So you use the word observer. I don't like that word observer and the observe. You see, there is the observer, you say. And this is the one you are observing.
Yes.
What is the relationship between the two? You have the clue there. You look at it, don't look at me. No use looking at me. You will get the answer there, if there is any answer, you know. So you tell me all about it. You don't have to move this away. This is not a classroom exercise we are indulging in, you know. That is too silly.
I can see the candle, but I
You-
can't see to see me see the candle. There is an observer.
The observer is the word candle. All that you know about the candle is the observer. There is nothing there other than that, you see.
I can see.
Listen,
that
you can't do those two things. You can't do those. It is physically impossible. That's what I am trying to point out to you. You are not looking at that.
Yes,
You will be surprised. That is the teacher that's going to teach you something extraordinary, not my words. Don't try it, it's no use.
I think it's too difficult.
It's very simple. It's not difficult.
That's
Don't make it difficult. So in exactly the same way, there is only one movement there and not somebody who is watching the thoughts. That's all that I'm trying to emphasize. You know, it's very difficult, as you say. You see. It's not only difficult, but it's impossible.
Can you repeat it?
Hmm?
Can you repeat it?
You see, it is difficult, you see. You realize the impossibility of doing that, you see.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yes, that's right.
Then you struggle, you see. So all your energy is wasted in. You see, you know, the energy which you are generating through this effort of yours to control something which you cannot control is an artificially created energy, and that gives you a feeling that, you see, you are doing something extraordinary. So it is this, the friction of these two thoughts that has given you this extraordinary energy. You know, it's an artificially created energy. You can stop thoughts by taking a drug these days, you know that? Huh? But when once the effect of the drug is over, it's back again with vengeance. They are doing it in the hospitals now. It's a lot easier than this.
Oh, yes,
You don't have to sit for hours and hours and hours and try and struggle to control. You see, it's easy. But why do you want to control thoughts? That's exactly what I'm asking. What for? You cannot do that. It's impossible because it's not yours. You have no control over that at all. So by this divisive process, by imagining that, you see, you are the observer, separate from and independent of those flow of thoughts, is the one that is really the problem for you. There are no two. There is only one.
I'll think it over.
You have to reject what I am saying. It is nonsense as far as you are concerned. Don't think it over, try it, you see.
Thank you for the answer.
if we can't do anything with it and we have to reject it.
If you accept it, you are back again, your belief. So it's just a belief, it's an act of faith on your part.
But if we reject it, we're the same. If we believe it,
So,
it's the same too. So why do you tell us?
what do you do about it? It's for you.
But if you know that that it is rejectable and that we can't do anything with it, why do you tell? Why do you tell it every time?
What will you do with it? You tell me. Leave alone others. You have followed this is our discussion, or whatever you call it. What have you to say on that?
That I can understand your words. And it's saying to me that well, I'm happy that I don't have to make that effort again to meditate in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. So
No, I didn't say that. You didn't understand.
No,
I didn't
but
say that at all.
No, I know.
I didn't say that either you should or you should not meditate.
Yeah, but it has that effect that you free me of the thinking that is necessary.
No. Not at all. So you haven't even understood my words, you know. You say you understand my words.
Yeah. I know that you say I don't have anything against it. You can do it if you want to, but I say that it has that effect.
So
on me.
actually what you do in your meditation is all the time pointing out.
Yes.
You see, not what you think you are doing. What is actually is happening when you are meditating, I'm pointing out. So the energy you feel is your own, you see, the energy created by you, you know, because of this friction. So that is not something, you see, the silence which you are experiencing is the one that you have artificially created it. That's why you see, you know, you have to go back again and again and again and again. So the demand that the silence should be permanent is the one that is responsible for your continuing the meditation. You see, you can continue the meditation for 100 years. But what you expect out of that is something which you can never achieve.
If you say that it doesn't make any difference between making a walk or meditate or drinking a glass of beer, I'm glad, because then I can walk instead of all the time meditate. I don't like it at all. If you should say...
That's why I say you can't accept what I'm saying. Then you are back again in your Catholic church or I don't know to which denomination you belong. You swallowed every dogma, you believed in everything. You see, you are in the same situation. So why replace that with another thing?
Oh yes. My Catholic walk.
Yeah. You are a Catholic? No.
No.
Some Protestant or what? Another dogma. This will be another faith, you know. You see, I can say, but the next 10 days, you see, or the next 10 years, it has no meaning to him. So he is trying to relate my statement with the way he is functioning there. He is trying to relate. So this will, create a situation which will make him feel that he is getting somewhere, you see. I don't know, you see. This is actually creating a parallel movement there.
What do you mean, this?
My statement and what is happening there, you see, the duality is still there. You see, you are replacing one with another. So it is in that sense I say you have to reject what I am saying, you know, and stick to what you have been doing. You see, the answer is there, you see, not in my statements, you see. It's the candle, you see, that is going to help him to resolve. Not that, you see, you should sit before a candle instead of before some cross and, continue to the same, but
You know the answers, but you don't give them. You only give short handouts to people.
So my answer is not going to be of any help to you.
Yes, it is.
Huh?
Let people find it out themselves.
So then why do you need me?
I don't know.
I tell you, you can walk, stand up and walk. That's all that I can see. You are not going to fall. Try, throw away all those crutches. Don't replace them with the fashionable crutches. You see, as long as you depend upon your crutches, depend upon some outside agency to help you. You cannot walk. I say, you see, you are not going to fall. You see, Try. Stand on your two solid feet and walk your own way. You see. Then you will be surprised that you can really do it. You see.
Struggle.
Yes, struggle is fear. You see, fear of falling. So you
But will everybody be able
certainly,
come through?
certainly. No.
It's a struggle with yourself most of the times. It's not.
No, there is no struggle there, you see. You don't have to struggle. You are struggling, you see, to do something, see, other than walking, you see. You are not even trying, you see. So, you are looking for a new set of crutches, you see. You don't want to let them go. As long as you don't let them, you don't even have to drop them. If you try to drop them, you see, you are in trouble, you see, That's all that I am saying, you see. So you find out the answer for yourself if there is any answer.
I will always, this may be enough, but I always thought that enlightened people were not functioning, but you are, in a certain way, you are.
What's that? I didn't quite.
Enlightened people are not functioning, but you are.
Functioning? You think they are all stones? Or what? Huh? Anyways, we decided at the very beginning that I don't look like an enlightened man. I asked you a question. How does an enlightened man look like? He told me, you see, flowing robes, colored robes, flowing hair, beard, and then staring eyes. And I don't know what you associate the enlightened man with, the features and words. And
Well, I don't had any associations.
you did have some vague ideas. No. Huh?
I'm completely out of it.
What lit- Hmm?
It's all right, I think.
See, the moment you put a label on somebody, it makes it difficult for people to talk. You're already prejudiced, or you take it for granted that man, is enlightened man, is going to enlighten you or give you something which you can take hope, something precious, and that makes it impossible for us both to talk, to understand each other. You see, I am trying to understand you, you are trying to understand me, you see. That's all we are doing here. You see, I am not handing out anything to you. You see, you do whatever you want to do. I am not saying that you should not meditate or you should meditate. So whatever you want is already there in you see, you know. If religiosity is that you are interested in, it's there in your Christianity. You have never even looked at it. So you see, how can you be dissatisfied and brush it aside without testing that? You see. So try this. All the fashionable things are coming. I'm not saying that you should not meditate, that you should not do yoga. All that is nonsense. I'm not saying any one of those things, you know. I'm just pointing out what you are actually doing. You see, this, your goal is altogether different. He wants to stay awake, you know. So this puts you to sleep. That's all that I'm saying, you know. It makes it difficult for you to stay awake. If you try to control your thought, you are not going to succeed because it has a tremendous momentum, millions and millions of years of momentum. You have nothing to do with it. It's just passing through you, you know. So if you say they are good thoughts, they are pious thoughts, they are virtuous thoughts, and the other thoughts are bad, sinful thoughts, they are what they are. So what have you to do with them? You have nothing to do with them. So when you want to do something with them, then you are creating a problem for yourself. You cannot but do that. You cannot but do that, but you are doing that. You see. So what do you want to control your thoughts for? No, not you. You see, that's what we were discussing all the time. To achieve something, you see, some goal. So the goal is here already, you see, not out there, not after your meditation or 10 years of meditation, but whatever you want, you see, it is already here, it is there. You cannot look at it, you see, because you are looking there. There, you see, the goal is there.
May I ask, what have you do during the day?
What I do?
Yeah.
What I did, I can tell you today.
Yes.
I go out, this is a big city, I walk through the streets, look at the windows, window shopping. I have nothing to buy there, I don't need to buy anything. Walk through, what kind of dress people wear, what do they eat now. I'm not interested in the museums, so it's all dead things for me, you know. I know, I visited Rembrandt Museum and how many times do I have to go and look at Rembrandt, you see? It's the name, but maybe some unknown painter's picture is there, you see. People may not have recognized, you see. If you go there wanting to look at Rembrandt, you are already like this, you see, an enlightened man, you are not looking at anything. So, you see, trees, walking through the woods here, or what do you do there? And just look at the trees. Living people there, or they're walking in the streets, you know. What they are thinking, you see. You know, what do they want, you see. Why they are all there buying things, you know. Just look at them, you see. What kind of dress they are wearing, you see. I'm not a fashion designer or anything. I just look at them, you see. This is something creative, you see. You know, it's as much creative as any paintings that you have there, you know, the dressmakers. It's just very interesting to what kind of food they eat, you know. That's all that I go through these streets and travel agencies. What's the cheapest way to fly from here to America or to India? You know, so many times look at them. And that's all. Otherwise I read some book and I don't. You see, no, there is no boredom, you see, because you see something or the other is happening all the time. So if you pick and choose certain things and reject the other things, you see, you get bored. So something or the other is always happening around you. There is not one moment where you are not touched or affected by the things around you. So there is no time to think of anything else. So you are looking at that, you see this, that and the other. You go in a car, look at so many things, all the time.
And specific question.
Yes.
Do you meditate?
No, I don't meditate. I don't meditate, you see. No. So if I say, you see, whatever I am doing is meditation, you mystify it, you see. So that is, you don't call it, you see, you are just looking at it, you see, wondering. You are wondering at everything that is there. What you know about has no time to interfere with what is happening around you. So there is no time for you to meditate. There is no need for you to meditate, you know. So there is nothing there for me to control. I let the thoughts have a field day, you see, they can go wherever they want. So if you try to control them, you are in trouble. So I let them go wherever I go with the thoughts, Wild day, they have a field day.
You never
So
feel then that you have to do something for others?
whatever I am doing at that moment, you see, whatever I am doing at that moment is all that I can do. That's all. You came here and we are here talking, and that's the end of the business. I'm not interested, you see, in helping him. He is the one who has to help himself, That's all. Look here, you can help yourself. It's not me, it is not the enlightened man, it is not some guru that comes from India or some system. But you see, be clear as to what you want. That's all that I'm pointing out, you see. So silence, he wants a silence, He says, you see, that you have created that silence. And so this instrument, you see, which you have picked up to create that silence will become, you see, a very difficult thing to be rid of, you see, because this has given you that silence. But it is not that has given him the silence. So then, you see, he has to do this over and over and over again, you see, and change them, modify them. And you see, they demand permanent silence you want. Permanent silence is not possible. You see, it is not interested. You see, silence is something like a volcano erupting, not this dead silence which you experience through your meditations. It's just this, the silence. Have you ever been in the woods or before an ocean, the roar of an ocean? It's like that, you see, when the thoughts flow like, you see, the river in spate, that is the silence. I'm not suggesting that you should practice, you see, you let them go through you. It's a river in spate, wild waters flowing. So there is a noise. Don't you see that when a river is in spate, lashing at the banks? So that is not what you want. You want to crush that, push that aside and then create some funny silence, and you want to enjoy that, you see. So it's wild. It's like a volcano erupting all the time. Very noisy it is. You can't stand that noise. So you have some mantra and create louder noise inside of you and suppress that, you see. And you think you are able to suppress that by repeating this. So I'm just asking him to just look at it, you see, what you are doing. I'm not saying, you see, don't you give up your meditation. What will you do? If you give up your meditation, you will go and drink a glass of beer or do something, take a walk, or I don't know what you will do, you see. So I'm not saying anything that you should do or should not do, you see. So what do you want, you see, that's all that I'm asking. So when this is very clear about your want, then it's very easy, simple.
Once you think you are there, you want to go further. Once you think you are there, you want to go further, you realize you're not there at all.
No, then there's always further to go, further and further, I always give the simile of trying to overtake your own shadow. You see? So you try hard and you can never overtake your own shadow, but you see, if it strikes you that you are responsible for that shadow, you are yourself creating that shadow, then you see, give up this You see, the demand to overtake your shadow for whatever reason. You see. So you see that you are yourself, that's all that I'm saying. You see, the silence, your experience is in the one which you yourself have created. So watch, that's all that I'm saying. You see. If silence is what he is interested in, so this is the one which you have, through the help of this technique of meditation, created. And you are enjoying it, you see, so you want more and more and more of the same, or demand that permanence, which is not possible. That's all that I'm saying. So he has to be on his own and do whatever he wants to do. I'm not telling anybody that I have a particular kind of meditation and a system of meditation. You practice this and all the others are no good. Not at all, see. So I have nothing to give him. A substitute, no.
Don't talk about me the whole evening.
No, I don't mean you see. Because you and I talk for a long time. Nobody else bothered to ask me questions.
Well, it is difficult for me, because I have said to you, my English is not so good.
Yeah, you speak very well, very well. As far as
to explain in
you
words what you are saying, but one thing I say to you, my English is not so good. Please help me first. But second, I have the feeling that you don't listen, because when I'm still talking, you are coming to me with words. So
yeah, you see, the idea is to block it. The idea is to block it. You see, I know what you are saying.
What
so
you're
this
doing now?
No, yes, that's what I'm saying. You see, this dialogue is not going to be of any help for us to understand anything.
No, but it's only for me a problem to explain enough.
Not necessary. For me, you don't have to explain.
Well,
it's not that I want to prevent you from saying whatever you want to say, but you are not saying anything, you see. It's not the difficulty of the language. Even if you have a tremendous command over your language, it will be the same, even if you speak in Dutch,
Yes, you're right. But you can give me the feeling that you understand. And you can give me that feeling when you are still listening to me.
Yes.
Perhaps you know all the words I want to say to you. Perhaps you know that all that stuff. But you can give me the feeling that you listen.
Yes.
Maybe you do.
Yes.
But it's for me it's a difficulty to explain. I was looking to words. I was looking to. I'm not you. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand. Yes. The why I do what I am doing is to make you see that it is not really necessary to talk. It's not necessary for me to say anything. It is not necessary for you to say anything. Not that there is another level of communication or a mysterious way of communicating something. But this we know. We are trying to tell something to somebody, and that gives you a feeling that you have said, you see, whatever you want to say. It is not in your saying or in my saying that the solution is. The answer to the question is.
Yes, you're right.
And I know that many people are hurt because, first of all, I can't follow, you see. we are making statements. You are making a statement, I am making a counter statement. You see, then it goes on and on and on and on.
No, I didn't want to. I was coming here and I was ringing to ask if I may come, because I had 2 questions. And I want to know your meaning about that, because there are 2 problems by me here, and I want to ask. I don't want to a dialogue with you, an argument. I don't want to draw a whole evening between. No. But the answer you give, the answer you give
you
to
see,
me.
no, you don't have to say anything. Just to stop there. That's all. Yes, it's not that I am blocking or I don't want to listen. You see, you don't have to move. You see that the flow of that has to stop there in you. You don't have to tell me or tell yourself, first of all. You see, you communicate with yourself, and then you use those words and try to communicate with me. But the communication with yourself has to stop there. Then there's no need for us to talk, or for you to talk to me or to anybody. For you, see, who is ready to talk to you?
I have something to give, something like enlightenment or less, I don't know what. And you should say to me, well, okay, Margaret, okay, you're now for your 2nd year, here you are. Then I should be very afraid, and I even don't want it. You know, I realize that I want to stay like I am now.
Listen, how can you say that you don't want it? You don't even know anything about it.
No, for that reason.
No, you don't know what it is.
No.
So you can't say I want it or I don't want it.
Well, I feel that I would like to stay in what I know now.
No, that's why you are running around here, there, everywhere listening. That is what you can't do. That is what is bothering you. That is why you are searching for things.
Yes, I am searching.
Stay with what you are. Try it.
No, I want both.
No, you don't want that first. Otherwise you don't go around searching for things. You don't like it. What you are, you don't like it.
No.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
You are dissatisfied with yourself.
Yes, but I'm unknown what I could be in another way. So if I don't know, then I like to stay, even if I am, and I am not satisfied with how I am now, I should like to stay like this. I don't know. I only see you, and you seem to have something else. What is it? I don't know.
So how can you say you don't want it? How can you say you want it or you don't want it?
Yeah, it's double. I don't want it, and still I don't want to miss it. Both.
Miss it.
Yeah. I'm sure I want something else when I'm 10 years, when it is 10 years later, when I'm 10 years older. Because then you're getting old and then...
Now you want, otherwise you won't be here or you won't search for anything.
No, but I want to prevent it.